Good, beautiful morning, everybody, and welcome to the Saturday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. My name is William Michael Forbes. I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and intuitive life coach. And it is Saturday, January the 21st, 2022. And today I have with me the energy of Archangel Michael, and we're going to be doing a lesson and meditation today on love. And I think it's really important. When he came in this morning, he had some very fascinating things to say. I hope you'll stick around to hear what he has to say to us all. Very important. Now, for those of you that are unfamiliar with our show or new to the program today, I just want to say that there is a quasi-meditation done throughout this program. And I'm going to put something up on the screen here. For those of you on TikTok, you may not be able to see this, so I'm going to read it out to you. While you're here during the Saturday show, sit down, make sure your body's comfortable, and then breathe slowly and deeply into your body. Like, fill your lungs completely. And when you exhale, give your body permission to relax. It's something that you can do as easily as you can tell your hand to go up or down, or get your body to get up and go to the kitchen or the bathroom or for a walk. When you exhale your breath, give your body permission to relax. So while you're listening to this, because you're more than capable of listening to this and following this function at the same time. So you breathe deeply in through the nose and you fill your lungs completely. You hold the breath for about 3 seconds. And when you release your breath, you give your body permission to relax. We'll explain why we have you do this in just a few moments. Again, Michael will be coming to speak in a few short minutes. I just want to set the stage for everything that's going to unfold. There's a lot of confusion that's going to be eliminated because of what he's going to have to say today. So each time you tell your body to relax, do it on the exhale. When you exhale from your body, it's an autonomic suggestion to the body to relax. It naturally releases tension from your body when you exhale. So as you breathe, on the exhale, give your body permission to relax. And you want to do that until the body's fairly relaxed. Not asleep, but fairly relaxed. If your body does fall asleep, that's quite okay. Your consciousness will still be aware, although your mind won't hear things. When the body's put into a sleep state, your consciousness does not perceive through the 5 physical senses. So by this breathing process, you begin to open your body up to be receptive to your own awareness, so that instead of it being connected to everything that's happening in the world, you're starting to train your body to be open and receptive to your awareness. A lot of the confusion that's happening today is because too many of us are distracted by things about what the world is telling us is happening, what this is and what that is, and it creates a lot of unnecessary confusion. This process of teaching your body to relax by using your breathing in this fashion starts to give you a sensation of authority over your body. Secondarily, as you feel the body relaxing, it usually takes about 2 to 3 minutes at the most. If you're really focusing on deliberately relaxing the muscles in your body as you exhale, your body will relax much faster. Once it's at that point where you feel it's completely relaxed, then you're going to switch the breathing and use your breath and draw your breath into the space in your mind where all your thoughts, all your memories, all your future considerations are living, where your thoughts and your emotions and memories all live. You're going to breathe into that space, and you're going to do the exact same thing with your mind that we're asking you to do with your body, in that when you breathe in, you hold the breath for a few seconds, and when you exhale, you release all thoughts, all memories, all emotions from your consciousness. You just let your mind relax. And it may take a shorter period of time or a longer period of time, depending on how experienced you are with recognizing that your mind and your body are designed to follow your instructions. It becomes fairly obvious after a little while if you practice this type of breathing. You don't have to just be here to do this. I recommend you do this anytime. You stop for a few minutes, breathe, let the body relax, breathe, and give your mind permission to not think for a while. Just give your thoughts, your memories, your emotions time to rest. You are not your thoughts. You are not your memories. You are not your emotions. That's all information that's stored in the body so that you can navigate in this world to the best of your ability with the information that you've acquired from your experiences here. You are not your body. You are an awareness coming into a physical dimension to experience a physical reality and the sensations of a physical reality. And in order to do that, you have to have information and knowledge about this reality in order to function here. A lot of people don't realize, yes, we will. So one of the things he wanted to say is a lot of people do not realize that they are not from this planet per se. They exist in this planet through the physical medium of a biological organism and the informational realm of the mind. And as you learn to utilize the function of your breath to train the physical body to be open and receptive to your awareness, to teach your body to follow your instructions, and then to teach your mind, your emotions, to follow your instructions, that you can actually turn to your mind and say, be still, give it a rest. You can teach your mind to be quiet by your command, using the function of your breath. You'll always find on the exhale that it is most easy to release thought, to release memory, to release emotion from the body, to give the mind and the body permission to be open and receptive to your awareness. Once your mind and body are open and receptive to your awareness, you will begin to experience yourself as awareness, not as the thoughts, not as the memories, not as the emotions, not as the body. You'll begin to experience yourself as awareness. A lot of identity confusion in this physical dimension results because one confuses their awareness with their biology. And many of you come from other star systems and other planetary systems to be in this physical reality of this dimensional realm. And so you come here with memories of consciousness of being something other than this physical body. And it can be somewhat confusing for some of you. But rest assured, the body you are in is the body that you chose, that was in the greatest resonance for you to utilize while living in a condition of time, space, and matter, such as this dimension here. Now, my focus predominantly today is to give you the understanding and experience that you are an awareness that functions independent of your thoughts, memories, emotions, and biology. In fact, you have the potential to assert great authority over your thoughts, your memories, and your emotions. And you may do so in a loving way, and you may do so in a harmful way. The choice is completely yours. When you recognize that you have the choice, while you are identified as the personality exclusively, you are bound by the constraints of the information that the personality has acquired. That is, the information that you've gained while in a physical body, in a personality acquired from the information of this world. You will be bound by the constraints if you are identified as the mind and body system. Once you recognize that the mind and body system are vehicles that you may utilize in gaining information and experience about the creating process, you will find a lot of the unnecessary confusion will begin to dissipate and evaporate when you recognize that your consciousness is something that's very distinct and separate from biology and your what they call your psychology. As you come to an understanding of the awareness of yourself, then you move into a position where you can begin to examine and evaluate the information you've acquired, because many of you have acquired information from this physical world that does not serve you, that does not aid you in understanding who you are and what is your purpose here. Much of the information you're receiving now is confusing and somewhat conflicting with your nature. As awareness recognizing that you have an authority over thought, over energy, over biology, when you come to that understanding, then it is no longer the information in your mind that dictates your function, but the recognition of your own consciousness that determines what you discern to be right or wrong, good or bad, or some might prefer right or less right, or more right, which is a much more preferable term than the terms of good and bad, right and wrong, right, less right, and more right. From the perspective of awareness, you can begin to find freedom and liberation. And so, as you are hearing us speak, we ask that you quite simply breathe slowly and deeply and give your physical body permission to relax so that your awareness can be free to perceive this information unfiltered through the concepts you've acquired from this physical dimension. As the information that you've received from this world is information from this world, about this world, and may not relate directly to who you are as a consciousness, as a spiritual entity, if you prefer that term. But as a consciousness, as an individual consciousness, your mind and body may not reflect accurately that mechanism of your consciousness. In learning to assert your authority over your mind and your body, getting them to a place where your mind and body is open and receptive to your awareness. From the perspective of your awareness, you can begin to evaluate the information that has been given to you from this physical dimension and the validity of that information as it applies to your creative process. For each and every one of you did come into this physical dimension to function in a very specific way according to your nature, not your biology, not your psychology, but to your nature as a spiritual entity. To be able to make the distinction in your consciousness between your biological system of operation here, your mental system of operation here, and you as the operator of that system, which is the natural chain of flow of energy and information, is your awareness organizes thought, which organizes in energy in the form of emotion, which organizes your biological expression. Many of you got that reversed. You have information coming in from the world, organizing your body and your mind, and now your mind and body are organized by the world, and you have gotten confused about who you are, and you wonder why I'm so confused. You are not confused. You are only identifying with a set of information that is not compatible with your nature of self-comprehension. When you come to the understanding and conclusion that you are awareness, aware of your thoughts, aware of the body, that you may at any moment direct the mind to be still, to be quiet, to be peaceful, that you may direct the body to likewise be still, quiet, and peaceful. In that moment where you are able to initiate your mind and body through a function of your own interaction with it, where it becomes silent and still and you feel undisturbed by the content of the information stored in your biology, at that moment, this process that you might call freedom begins to emerge, where you suddenly realize, I am not my thoughts. I am not this body. I have thoughts. I have a body. You begin to realize you no longer have to be overwhelmed, controlled, or seemingly manipulated by the information in this world or in your own mind. In that position of authority where you can begin to turn to your physical entity and you can turn to your mental system and begin to rebuild or restructure that information in your mind to match your nature as a consciousness, as a creating intelligence, when you begin to feel the experience that you can indeed assert quite clear and intentional authority over your mind and your body as vehicles for creative expression in a physical medium. When you come to that understanding, and many of you are performing this function automatically without recognition of this third component, that you are awareness, able to reorganize and restructure thought, which in turn reorganizes and restructures biology, which in turn reorganizes and restructures the experiences you have around you at any point of time and space. And again, my goal is very simple here today: to give you the opportunity to remember your true nature, which from our perspective is love. You did not come here with any malice nor intent to harm. That was acquired and learned from this dimension. You as awareness are not the information of the mind. You as awareness are the one that can reorganize and restructure, add, subtract, and incorporate new information into the system as a function of your free will to choose to do so. Now, this is both a lesson and a meditation, and the two work together on this day. The function of meditation is the function of learning that you are able to affect alterations and changes in the function of thought, energy, and biology, therefore giving you an insight and an understanding of how you cause effects in your creative experience in this physical dimension. For you all cause effects in your creative experiences here, whether you are conscious of that fact or not. But in becoming conscious of that fact, conscious of the fact that you can alter your own thought, and that your thought can restructure energy, or you might say the qualities of emotion that move through your body, that in that place of consciousness and awareness, you can begin to affect intentional creative changes in your experience in this dimension of time, space, and matter. But it is but one dimension of experience. There are many dimensions, and some of you have come from great distances in terms of time and space, and also in terms of frequency. For some of you come from different frequencies of consciousness and have stopped by to have this experience. You might think of it as visiting one of your fairs or one of your special events where you try out all these different rides and these different things that you explore and experience for the experience itself. But each and every one of you have come into this park, you might say, this fairground called your Earth, the experience of humanity, to experience this experience of this dimensional element of consciousness. So in the function of breathing slowly and deeply and giving your body permission to relax, and using each of your breaths to slowly and deeply give your body permission to relax until it is fully open and receptive. It's not trying to be somewhere else or do something else. It is simply open and receptive to your awareness, completely relaxed. Then you move your awareness to the second tier of consciousness, which is your mental field, the place where thoughts and memories and the emotions are stored in your system. And then you use the same function of your breath to breathe into the place where thoughts, memories, and emotions are. You breathe into that space, just as you would the body. And when you exhale, you give your thoughts, your memories, and your emotions permission to become still, quiet, and open and receptive to your awareness. And you use the exhale as the primary form of instruction to direct the mind and the body to be still, to be quiet. You'll find it is always easiest on the exhale to feel the effect that you're directing your body to carry out, the effect that you're directing your mind to carry out on the exhale. On the inhale, you are simply drawing in new energy into the body. And on the release of the breath, you're releasing tensions, activities of mind and body, consciously choosing to do this, giving your mind, your emotions, your memories, permission to be still. As you continue this function of breathing in this way, as your mind and body become quieter, calmer, and more open and receptive to your awareness, as that process happens, you will begin to feel a sense of well-being as you begin to realign with your own consciousness, which is separate and independent from the content of your mind and your biology, but which is able to interact with both freely. But in this place of differentiation between your biology and the realm of your personality, in this place where they are quiet, open, and receptive to you, you now have awareness that you are aware independent of the distractions of the mind and the senses of the body. It may take you several applications. It may even take several days or weeks for some of you, depending upon the amount of confusion you are finding yourself believing that is going on in you. But your breath is a sacred instrument that you can use in this function to liberate yourself from subjectivity to the mind and the body. You do not want to get rid of the mind and body. You simply want to place them into a position where they will serve you rather than rule you. And again, the variance in time will depend upon several factors. One, your conscious and deliberate intention to train your body to become open and receptive to your awareness, to consciously and deliberately train your mind to be quiet, calm, and peaceful. And then to become aware that you are still aware when your mind and body are still and quiet. And there is a sensation, a vibration, if you will, of what some may call peace, or a sense of well-being, even a sense of bliss or euphoria that happens when you realize, I am not my thoughts, I am not my emotions, I am not this body. I have thoughts, I have emotions, I have a biology that I use while I'm in this physical dimension. I am not these things, but I can utilize these things. At that point where you find your experience of freedom, a feeling of well-being, once you're able to differentiate yourself from your mind and body, then you can begin the process of learning to rebuild your mind and body consciously and deliberately, filling it with thoughts, ideas, foods, things that will uplift the vibrational frequency of both your mind and body, rather than to simply accept by default the information that has been given to you from this physical world. Many of the experiences that you have had have led to confusion about what is true and what is not true. Many of the things that you've been taught in your so-called educational centers in this physical dimension are likewise confusing and seek to take authority away from you over your own mind and body. And you can see how this is operating in your physical world and in your social structures. The decay that you see around you is a product of this process where your own consciousness is so identified with the personality and the biology that you are unable to make deliberate and intentional changes in it on a much broader scale. But the movement in consciousness that you may choose to effect, utilizing the function of your breath, taking the time to direct your body into a state of open receptivity, if you take the time to direct your mind likewise to be still, to be quiet, you as awareness will begin to remember and experience who you are as a consciousness and not exclusively as a personality living in a physical body, but a consciousness that has a body and a personality to utilize in the function of creative expression, learning the function of creation. And so much of the confusion that you think you are going through physically and mentally is not your confusion. Much of it is confusion that has been given to you by the environment. You have not, in some cases, begun to realize the distinction between your awareness and your own thinking processes and the thoughts and ideas that have been given to you by the world that may or may not be good or bad, right or less right. Understand that thought always stimulates an electrical charge that is called emotion. And that emotion directs that energy into the body and causes an action in the body to occur. Behavior occurs when emotion is set into movement from functions of thought. If you are continuing to listen, please also continue to breathe, to get the sensation of giving your body to be permission to be still and quiet, open and receptive to your awareness. Experience giving your thought permission to be still and your mind permission to be quiet. You want to train both mind and body to be open and receptive to your awareness so that you as a soul can begin to orchestrate, generate, produce a mind, a system of thought, which will produce a system of emotion that will be more effective and beneficial for your creative expression here. Again, much of the confusion that you see in your civilizations are simply a misunderstanding of the causal relationship between your awareness, your information, and your biology. Many of you subjugate yourself to the information you've acquired from this world without questioning it. And from that perspective of not questioning the information you've received from this world, you may have adopted certain ideas and beliefs that are incompatible with your true nature, and this creates confusion. Although in your true nature, you can never be confused, but while functioning through a physical medium, while functioning in a physical dimension, you are experiencing that realm utilizing these mechanisms of thought and biology. Once you recognize that biology and thought are subjective to your intention, to your conscious ideas and information, whether they are yours or not yours, thought will always generate an energy in the form of an emotion, which will always cause a reaction in your biological system, and even overt actions in terms of what you will do in this physical world and what you will not do in this physical world. Our goal is very simple: to get you to this place in consciousness where you recognize that you are awareness, that you can alter and change your thinking as a function of your will, and that alteration in your thinking will alter and change the emotional energy that's living in your physical body. And that once you gain the experience of changing the energy with your thinking processes, you begin to gain a sense of self-authority again. You begin to remember that you are the thinker, not your thoughts. You are the feeler, not the feelings. You are the individual inhabiting that body, utilizing it for the function of creating and experiencing a physical dimension of reality. And this is but one of many, many dimensions that are available to your consciousness, but it is one that you've chosen to experience for this period of time. I encourage you to continue to align yourself to conceptions and sensations that uplift your energy. And I would offer you this consideration right now, to consider this thought, to consider the thought of what is love as a feeling for you. What is love as a feeling for you? Give your attention to that. What is love as a feeling? Not as something you acquire from the world, but what is the feeling of love? Now, you may have acquired that feeling from experiences in the world and think, therefore, that the feeling is because of what is in the world, but the feeling is something that lives within your experience of this reality. To consider what love is as a feeling for you, to give your attention to it without it having any reference to anything external to yourself in this world, but to reconnect to the essential nature of the feeling of love. To keep your attention and awareness on that feeling. To let your mind not evaluate and think, but simply allow yourself to keep attending to the feeling of love. Then you may use the function of your breath to strengthen and intensify that vibrational condition. The vibration of love is not so much of a sensation. It does have function creatively in this world, just as the vibrational energy of fear or anger have functioned in this world. They too are vibrational energies. But to learn to remember and align yourself to the vibrational frequency of love as you understand it to be, without it being something that's determined by what you've experienced in this world, but is something that is naturally innate in what you are as a consciousness, function of benign creative intelligence, entering into a physical dimension to experience it. And so let us take a minute together. Let us take a minute together to breathe, to consider this vibrational state, this energy that you are currently in of love. I see. Okay. Yes, we are here to clear generational traumas from your body, because many of you had multiple experiences in this physical dimension. Many of you have had multiple experiences in this physical dimension, and you've acquired lifetimes of experience through this realm. But before we go into questions and answers, let us take another moment to simply breathe slowly and deeply. Breathe slowly and deeply. Fill your lungs completely. And when you exhale, you give your body permission to relax. And then take another slow, deep breath. And as you exhale, give your body permission to relax even more. And then take one more slow, deep breath. And as you exhale, give your thoughts, your memories, your emotions permission to be still when you exhale. Give them permission to be still. Let each exhale that you give with your body, allow it to relax more fully and more completely. Each and every breath that you exhale, give your body and your mind more permission to relax. The goal of this form of breathing is to get you back in touch with the understanding and awareness that you are not your thoughts. You are not your body, that your body and your thinking are instruments of creation that you are here to learn to use in the function of creation. You're here to learn to use your thoughts and your biology as instruments for the process of creation. The discovery of your purpose here comes through recognizing who you are as an awareness, what it is you are as consciousness, not what you are as you have been conditioned to believe you are by the environment. The world around you has convinced you to believe that you are one thing or another, and yet you are already something quite remarkable and divine that you can learn to align to. Yes, you will, Karen. Hi, Karen. How you doing, guys? I'm just going to switch over to, there we go. Hi, Daniela. Hi, Christopher. Hi, Mara. Hi, Kira. Hello, Terry. We're streaming live on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. I'm with Archangel Michael today. And thank you for that super chat. I really appreciate it. Question from Rachel. Michael, please give me advice. I'm being mistreated in my previously happy marriage and need guidance. He's telling me that there's a communication break. There's a there's a misunderstanding of communication between the two of you. He's saying you have to clear this. You have to clear that fear. He's saying clear the fear from your mind. Let not your fear determine your actions. Allow your love, not your fear, to determine your actions. And while love in its expression may seem to contradict what one believes to be right action. In this case, love is the only function that will correct this. One of the things that has been said many times is that there are only two functions that humans perform overall. That every single action, every single thought, every word that every human has uttered or will ever utter is either an extension of love or a request for love. The question you would want to pose to yourself in dealing with this beloved one is, what is called for? Who is calling for love and who is giving love? Understand, there are only those two functions, a call for love or an extension of it. Who is asking for love and who is giving love? One cannot both ask for it and receive it. One must give, one must receive. It is how your body moves forward, one before the other. And so too, who is asking for love and who is giving love? Learn to understand that you must both understand that function. He also must understand this function. He must learn to see when you are calling for love, as you must learn to see when he's calling for love. And each must be willing to extend it when it is called for. If you are willing to give love when it is called for, then there will be no conflicts. True love casteth out all fear and all suffering. It's the truth. Thank you so much for that, Rachel. Sending you much love to that situation. Much love to it. Hi, guys. Question from Vertical. Tony has a low red blood cell count and a weak blood pressure causing occasional fainting. What can he do to overcome this? Hang on. Let me just, I'm actually feeling Archangel Raphael coming in. He needs to start building muscle systems. He needs to start building muscle. He's not letting his body get strong enough. You must do this very gently and slowly. Iron, saying iron 2. He's saying that he's deficient in iron 2. But yeah, he needs to work on building a muscle structure in place. Yes. But he's not to worry. There's a lot of stuff going on the planet. There's a lot of ascension symptoms going on. There's a lot of energy coming into this planet from the galactic center, from the sun, from the other planetary bodies. There's a massive transmutation, transformation of energy going from one frequency to another, and it's affecting a lot of people on many planets, many star systems, and including this one. There's energy that's impacting the entire galactic experience here. So be prepared. Meditation will really help them too. Thank you so much for that question, Vertical. Nicole's asking, when will I get pregnant? I don't know who this is. There's a strong female coming in on my right side, and she's wearing a lot. She's like from like the 1920s, and she's saying the child must be wanted. From everybody must want this. Everybody must want this. Everybody. She's like, tell her. I don't know why she's yelling this for me to like tell everybody that they must want this. They must want this. This must be received. This one that wants to come into your life wants to be well received. And the birth rate is dropping down around the whole planet right now. I asked, why is that going on? A lot of people think it's medical stuff that's going on and toxins in the food, and they're certainly contributing factors. But what they told me is that the vibrational love towards children coming in this dimension is really low right now. There's less and less beings coming into this planet because a lot of people are rejecting them. And so they're not as excited about coming here anymore. So the birth rate's falling down because a lot of people are not really loving and receiving and wanting to understand the function of what it is to bring a life into a physical dimension. Like you're giving another soul an opportunity to fulfill the function of creation that it was designed to, that it wanted to come here. It's almost like you've been invited to an amusement park and you want to get on a ride and they tell you, oh, sorry, you can't come on. And you keep coming back and they keep telling you can't come on. Eventually you just stop going to that ride, right? And we're seeing that happen all throughout this whole solar system. A lot of beings are less reluctant to come to this physical planet because of the way it is energetically. So make certain that everybody, including yourself, is wanting this child from a place of love, not wanting it to be something that is giving this child to let you be something more than you already are, but to be your best self, that this person, you're here to help them become their best self. It must be from love. Children must be experiencing love. That's what the whole point of it is now. People are coming to experience love here. And they're leaving. They're not coming as much. That's why the birth rate's falling down everywhere. We got too many people, we've been saying for decades, and they're saying fine. And what have we done? We've created whole systems for preventing children from coming into this world. We've created massive industries around preventing children from coming into this world. How would you feel if you were being invited to a party and every time you got to the door, they told you to leave? Eventually, you're just not going to go to the party anymore. And so we're going to see more of that decline in birth rate. Not for the reason science thinks, but for the reason spirit responds, right? But thank you for that question. Beautiful question, Nicole. Yes, Karen, that job's coming in 3 months. Make certain you like it. Someone's asking, can we release past familial generational traumas with quantum healing? With just the process of breathing that Michael just walked us through, like just that process alone, like that slow breathing and where you're releasing tension from the body, releasing emotion, thought, and memory from your consciousness, and just releasing it all with your breath, you'll actually start to release generational trauma because you're not keeping it active in your mind anymore. And then when you start to rebuild your mind, you start to reevaluate the construction of your personality. Most people don't do that. Most of us live with a personality and we stay with that personality. It doesn't change much. Some people stay the same way most of their lives. And being able to alter and change your own mind through a function of your will is so important, because without dynamic change, your soul gets bored as shit here and wants to just leave, right? It's true. You get bored, your soul gets bored and will want to leave this dimension. Learn to change and alter and affect your mind differently than the world has programmed it to be. Don't be just a humatron. Create your own mind, create your own thinking processes, right? It'll make a huge difference in what's happening to you. Thank you for that. Question from Terry. What message do the angels have for me? Hi, Terry. Yes. Drink some water, Terry. Drink some more water. You want to remineralize your water. You want to add a bit more salt to your water. Yeah, there. In the backyard of where you're living, in the center of that area, go sit there. Meditate in the middle of that space, in the backyard of where you're living. Go sit in that space and meditate in it, and just get your mind and body quiet and be open and receptive to the beings that want to connect with you. People think that the world is, we're only physical entities, that there's only sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell. There's so many other frequencies of information, energy around us. Explore them. Let's see here. Thank you very much. Thanks for that gifter bag. I really appreciate it, John. Thank you so much. Somebody's saying on TikTok, I've been fighting, having health issues. Will I be able to fight this? You need to shift the energy. People don't realize the correlation between emotion and biology. A lot of people don't understand that emotion organizes the matter of your body. Emotion organizes the matter of your body. It really, really does. Thank you so much for that. When you understand how to modulate and regulate your emotional energy, you'll start to modulate and regulate the quality of the cellular function in your bodies. Understand this, that when you're able to regulate your emotional field, it alters and changes the function of cellular activity. To learn to do this requires that you become able to direct your mind and your body to follow your directions. When you do not understand that emotion is organizing your material experiences, it makes it very difficult to make any changes. You can sometimes feel helpless and out of control if you do not understand your position of authority over mind and body. And this world has loaned itself to creating a lot of confusion, teaching you to believe that your happiness and fulfillment will come from something beyond you, but you are able to create happiness and fulfillment in your life. Align yourself, align your mind and your body to the vibrational energy of love, the vibrational energy of joy, the vibrational energy of peace, the vibrational energy of excitement, the vibrational energy of compassion and kindness. Keep your consciousness focused on those vibrations. Embody them. Let peace fill your body as a sensation. Let love fill your body as a sensation, and you'll begin to experience your body's reaction and response to those energies. Just as your body can react to a sound or a smell or a taste, your body can also react to an internal emotion that you generate or an internal emotion that you are holding onto as a memory. Understand that when you recognize you can change the function of mind and change the function of energy, you'll change the function of biology. It's very simple. When you're very happy, your body does things. It smiles, it might jump, it might play. When your body's very sad or upset, it will do very different things. The emotion that goes through your body is organizing and directing the function of your cells. And you do have the authority to master energy as emotion. You have that authority as consciousness. Many of you do not know you have that authority because you believe that you are your body, and you believe that your information in your mind is who you are. Somebody's just asking on TikTok, I have a feeling that something huge is coming my way. Yes, something is huge coming your way. It's going to be filled with much joy, but do not try to anticipate what it will be. Let the surprise of it delight you. Yes, I understand. They're just saying they're saying do not get attached to it having to be a certain thing. But it is true, something very huge and wonderful is coming into your life. And when that happens, please, share that in the comment section below my pinned video on my TikTok page or over on my YouTube channel. Please share that. We always like to hear wonderful things like that. Thank you so much. Yes, she does. Somebody's asking, hi, Jenna. Jenna, listen. We get so conditioned by this world. Just so everybody knows on YouTube what she's asking. Jenna's asking, I miss my mom so much who passed away 2 years ago. Does she really hear me when I talk? Okay. When you leave the physical body, you don't have senses like sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell like a physical body does. But you do have cognizance, you have awareness. You're just not embodied in a personality like you were before. She does hear your thoughts more than she hears your words. When people are in comas or have had strokes, they can't, because the body's biologically damaged or not functioning. The brain's not working, so the senses aren't receiving or responding to vibrations. The soul can still receive and respond to the vibrations of thought and emotion. So your mom hears your thoughts. She's asking me to ask you right now to just sit down and think to her, like sit down, relax. She's getting excited because she knows you can do this. So just sit the body down, relax for a moment, take a breath, relax, and just think to your mom. Just think to her, I love you, and allow yourself to feel the reaction and response in sensation as a feeling that comes back to you when you think that thought out. Mom, I love you. Just think that to her. And just be aware of any sensation or vibration you perceive. immediately afterwards. Just let yourself feel whatever comes back, because they hear thoughts, because thoughts are non-physical. Words are physical. They don't have a physical body. They can't hear physical words. But on the realm of energy, they can hear a thought, which is energy. So take a moment to do that. And yeah, she's very happy that reaching out to her. Once you start to experience their presence as a function of energy, the concept of death changes immeasurably. It should never be called death. It should simply be called transition from one state of consciousness to another. The word dead or death is a terrible word. It's a very negative and destructive word. And also, Jenna, leave a comment in the comment section after you do that. Tell us what you experienced. Hi, how you doing, guys? Just scrolling through a lot of questions here today, guys. Okay. Yeah, there's going to be there are going to be a lot of major changes this year for everybody. We are collectively creating something pretty amazing. Yeah. If you want to book a reading, you can go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com or torontomedium.com, and you can go to either one of those sites and you can book a live one-on-one reading with me. It's private, it's recorded, and it's your guides and your angels and the ascended masters that work with you. And everybody has guides, everybody has angels, everybody has ascended masters, everybody has God with them, everybody has Jesus with them. These beings exist. They're just on a frequency of energy that your eyes and your ears cannot see or hear. It's why Master Jesus says you have eyes but you can't see, ears but you can't hear. He's talking about your spiritual eyes, your spiritual clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance. They're non-physical senses that everybody is born with, but they're not developed. We get so fixated on the external senses that we get disconnected from those internal spiritual senses. But they're just dormant. They can be reactivated. In our 102 Masterclass and our 101 Beginner Masterclass, you get reintroduced to how to open up those internal senses again. I encourage you to go to my website, check out our course lineup for this year. So Danny here is asking, how do I change how I think? This is a great question. First, you have to realize that you are not your thoughts, right? Yeah, I understand. Okay. He wants me to tell you, if you have listened carefully and you have sat and you've directed your body to be still and to be quiet, if you have taken the time to do this, to breathe, teaching your body to be still with your breath, teaching your mind to be quiet with your breath, releasing thought, releasing memory, releasing emotion with your breath from the body. In the place as you release thought, as you release memory, as you release emotion from your awareness, you begin to disconnect yourself from subjectivity to the thinking process and reconnect to the process of awareness and reason, which is beyond the function of thought, but directs it. Reason directs the function of thought. Reason is a function of your soul. But once your mind is quiet and calm, you can then begin to select and choose thoughts as a matter of deliberate choice. Like to put your attention onto the body and say, relax. That is a thought you choose, and you direct the body to relax. Or you direct the mind to be still, and you choose the thought. My mind is still. My mind is quiet. And you focus on that thought, and you begin to feel how that thought begins to direct your mind to be still, to be quiet, and you begin to gain the fundamental experience, the beginning experience that you can alter and change your thought. For some of you, this may take different degrees of time and application, as many of you are so bound up in your thinking personality that you have to learn to make a distinction between your thinking personality and your awareness. But once you begin to make that distinction between your thoughts and your awareness of your thoughts, in that process of distinction, you begin to liberate yourself from subjectivity to the personality that this world around you has created for you. And once you begin to make that distinction in your awareness that you are not your thoughts, you are the thinker, you are not the emotions, you are the feeler, that you can alter and change thought and emotion. At that point, you begin to feel freedom. You begin to feel your ability to generate new energy that I am loving and lovable. A thought like that has a vibration to it. A thought like that has a vibration to it. If you give your attention to that thought, I am loving and lovable, and feel the energy that that thought generates, just as a memory of something will generate an energy of emotion, so too you can choose a thought carefully and feel the energy the thought manifests. At that point, you'll begin to recognize you can choose the thoughts you wish to give attention to and choose to not give attention to certain thoughts. Again, the process of recreating your consciousness, your mind, to be in the image and likeness of your own awareness is a process that everyone eventually must undergo in order to experience the true nature of what you are. But your mind and body are simply instruments for learning the function of creation. Wow, thank you so much. Really great question. Yeah, Christopher's saying, our energy of love together is so beautiful. Thank you, everyone. You're welcome, Christopher. Christopher's asking, how can I love my wife better? If it is love, then what could be better than love? If it is love, what can be better than love? Your question presupposes that you believe that your love is somehow insufficient. We would ask you to question, in what ways can I be more sufficient in my love? But again, the vibration of love can be amplified. It can be amplified. Yes. And you might also consider asking her, what more could you do to love her? She might have some ideas for you. I like that. Thank you so much. Great question, Chris. Got time for a couple more questions on TikTok. Someone saying, someone on TikTok saying, this is so true. They also live when we talk to them. Yes, my mom is in heaven and she likes to hear my voice. That's wonderful. It's so true. You know, if you're listening, we're listening, we got radio and TV stations passing around us. We don't see them, we don't hear them, because the body is not designed to tune into those frequencies. But we've designed radio systems that tune into those frequencies. Your awareness can tune into the frequency of the consciousness of other beings. You know, I had asked Archangel Michael, well, why didn't Harry Houdini come back when he said he could? He said, you can't come back into the same body and the same personality because you've experienced it. The consciousness that you knew that played the role of Harry Houdini still exists, and you can contact the consciousness of anybody that has experienced time or space in the physical dimension. You can contact that consciousness, but that individual cannot re-manifest as the same personality. Master Jesus is back in this physical dimension, but not as the exact same personality. He's back as the Christ, but in a different personality structure, because that physical structure only is created once. The body you have right now has only been created for the function of your process of learning, for this process of creation, right? Learning that. Very fascinating. I love it. I love it. It's so amazing. I'm in Toronto, and my wife really misses her grandmother. I'll definitely check you out. It's really important when the energy you can perceive with your awareness is different than the energy of the 5 physical senses. Sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell are very specific frequencies that come into the system, are integrated and reinterpreted in the physical brain, where you as awareness interpret those signals. The vibrations of consciousness, of a soul, of a fairy, of an archangel, the vibration of God, the vibration of the Christ universe consciousness. They're different frequencies of consciousness that you as awareness can attune your awareness to many frequencies beyond the 5 physical senses, especially when they're frequencies of consciousness, like a divine, like Master Jesus or Buddha or your guardian angels or fairies. There are dimensions of sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell that are not based in our 5 physical realm, but are on different frequencies. Quantum physics is proving this now, that there are these different levels of energy. So people are like that. You're people that leave the physical medium of expression, you can reach out to them more in thought than you can in sound. But I've often had, my dad will pop around sometimes. He passed away about 5 years ago. And whenever he pops around, I always know, because I don't drink, but he comes around and I always get a craving for a beer whenever he's around. So that when he's around, my dad used to love drinking his beer, right? So whenever he comes around, I know that that's him. And so I'll get different sensations from different beings to know who is who. One of my mentors, Dr. William Curry, he turns around, whenever he comes around, I can smell cigarette smoke everywhere. And he was a heavy smoker. So whenever he comes around, I smell cigarettes. So I know Bill Curry's with me, right? And each guardian angels, family members that have transitioned out of the body, they'll connect to you in the way that you're able to receive them. Again, you can learn all about this. You can check out our Masterclass program on my website, WilliamMichaelForbes.com, and experience one-on-one counsel with ascended masters, guardian angels, divine entities, spiritual collectives. It's an amazing thing, and I encourage you to do that. We have such limited information from this physical world, and yet everything outside of what we know is so much more than what we know in our physical world. There's more of what we don't know than what we do know. So it makes good sense that you try to find a way to get access to information you don't know rather than the information that you do know, because you can only get more of what you know from what you know. Yeah, thank you so much. Hi, Julie. Question from Julie. How do I get through to someone who has severe depression? Emotionally, I'm struggling. Wow, this is a really powerful one. Thank you so much for this question. And the first thing you need to do is align to a vibration of love in yourself. Like, spend a few minutes before you even speak them. Get into a vibration of love. Don't try to deal with their depression. Connect to their soul. Like, talk to their soul. Like, connect to the energy of their soul. Don't connect to the energy of their depression, because you're going to feed it. How do I get rid of the depression, you say? So now you're focused on their depression, right? And so you'll actually feed the depression. Connect to them in love. As to teaching them, because they have to learn this, you cannot, he's in that position because he wants to get out of it. He wants to learn, and he's gaining experience with how to work with energy. The vibration of depression is just a vibrational frequency of energy. It's just the vibration of anxiety. It's a frequency of energy. As an awareness, you can alter and change the frequency of depression. You can alter and change the frequency of anxiety once you interact with it differently than the way you currently are. And again, you might encourage him to go to my website, book a reading with me. I have half-hour, 1 hour sessions. Have him talk to his guardian angel. His guardian angel will walk him through it really quickly, right? Depression is an energy. You are not your depression. The depression is an energy that you are aware of in your system. When you become aware that you are aware, you can actually interact with your depression with a different frequency and literally change the energy of depression from depression into something completely more empowering. You can literally change the energy of depression. I've watched my guardian angel, I've watched Master Jesus, I've watched Master Buddha do this with people all the time, where they literally walk them through simple steps, and their vibration of depression is literally transformed. And it's a wonderful thing. That you're not here to suffer, you're here to love, right? But learning how to change energy, that's what you came here to learn to do, to be a creator, to learn how to work with energy, which is emotion. Emotion is energy. And emotion determines the function of behavior. When you can change the function of emotion, the function of behavior changes. They tell that to me over and over and over again. It's very simple. Emotion organizes all your experiences of matter. It controls matter. Emotion controls matter. But get into alignment with love with them, Julie. Thank you so much. Yeah, it is really amazing. I'm just going to scroll down here. Hi, guys. Where are we doing time-wise? Wow, we're doing good. Having a full day today. Yeah. I love Archangel Michael. He comes to me all the time. He came to me the very first time Archangel Michael came to me. I was 7 years old, and I was riding down a big hill on my bicycle, and the front wheel of my bicycle popped off while I'm just whipping down this hill in Don Mills, Ontario. And the forks went down into the road and catapulted me over the handlebars of my bike. And somehow my body got directed away from the road and hit the grass. And I tumbled onto the grass, and my bike rolled over down the road. And I sat up and I was crying because I was scared and I was in pain. And I just heard, "You're okay." And then a police car pulls right up immediately. And that was the first time Michael intervened on my behalf. We actually directed this officer to be there at that moment. So he helped me pick my bike up and brought me home. And our guides, our angels, ascended masters, your guardian angels, will work with you in the most incredible ways. I got a million stories like that where they have intervened on my behalf. And they intervene on you for you. They'll intervene for you on your behalf if you're open and receptive to receiving guidance, to receiving assistance. If you're really open and receptive to it, it'll happen, right? But if you don't believe it's going to happen, it's like closing the door. They can't get in to help, right? Surrender your fear. Thank you so much. Sunny's saying the classes have really revolutionized my life and my family household. I really recommend them. Yes, these are classes that are taught by ascended masters. They speak through my body, and they learn to communicate. Others learn how to connect to them and hear them as well. And when you learn to, it's just an amazing thing when you get to experience the wisdom and knowledge of beings that have been around for many lifetimes, teaching us simple ways. And they always say it is very simple. They said the process of your own freedom, your own liberation, is not meant to be complex. It should not take anybody years to overcome their suffering with the right knowledge and the right understanding. Without exception, all of you can heal your own mind and your own body. Your mind and body are meant to be your servants, not your masters. That's something else they say a lot of too. They say that quite frequently. Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Yeah, there's a whole... I know a lot of people call me Michael because his energy has been so strong with me. I cannot tell you how many times. And I know it because I can feel his presence. He's been with me. He's probably been closer to me, as close to me as my guardian angel, John. My guardian angel, John, I didn't meet until I was 20 years old, ready to jump off a bridge here in Toronto. I was just at a very low point in my life. And that's the first time I actually physically heard a voice talk to me, say, "Stop, don't jump, get off the bridge, go to the payphone, call this phone number and ask for this man, he'll help you." I heard those words and I followed those instructions, and it completely changed my life. And ever since then, I've devoted myself to helping others get free of suffering, because we did not come here to suffer, And I do that now through the work of the masters that I can channel, right? Everybody has the ability to become a medium. You're not your thoughts. You're not your memories. You're not your emotions. You are an awareness here to learn the function of creation, right? They tell that message over and over and over again. Thank you for following me. Hi there, guys. My little sister and cousin crossed over. Understand, Marion, please understand, they're not in their physical bodies anymore. They are still very close to you. They were very, very close with each other too. They remained close to each other because they wanted to experience something that was for them to experience. But if you sit for a moment, just sit for a moment, close your eyes, take a deep breath. They literally want to interact with your hands. If you sit down for just a moment and just relax and put your hands out and just feel. Yeah, your sister will be on the right, the cousin will be on the left. And they just want to gently let their energy interact so that your body has a sensation of their energy still in existence. So that's what a lot of people are looking for. People are looking for them to, where are they? I want to see them here. They're not physical bodies anymore. They are beings of consciousness now that no longer have a physical medium of expression, but they still exist. They still exist in the thought form of your sister and cousin for you to interact with, right? Just as the thought form of Harry Houdini still exists, and the thought form of Julius Caesar still exists, and the thought form of Buddha still exists, and you can connect to those. And energetically, they can actually physically interact with you. I've experienced it many, many times. Whenever he speaks to me, or they speak through me, there's a physical change in my body. I can feel sometimes my temperature gets really hot, sometimes it gets really cool, sometimes I'm shaking, other times I just want to just phase out and relax. It's very different. But just be patient and feel their presence with you. And then again, share the experience of the vibration that you're able to feel from them. Because if you're open and receptive, you can experience it, right? Science only weighs and measures what it can weigh and measure. Science cannot weigh and measure what it does not know how to weigh and measure, right? And consciousness is just beginning to be explored in science now. The quantum field and how our thoughts affect time, space, and matter, how we reorganize molecules. We're just beginning to understand. So science hasn't quite figured out how to build a device that allows you to tune into the frequency of your grandmother, your grandfather. You already have the device. You are the device. Your awareness is the device for tuning into non-physical beings and entities. And please understand, because there's lots of Christian and religious mythology that say there are, oh, you shouldn't be a medium, that's evil, that's bad. No, mediumship in and of itself is not evil or bad. In fact, it is quite neutral. What is evil or bad is if you connect to lower vibrational energies that are malicious and malignant and toxic and destructive. And your vibration is very important. You want to make certain that your body's in a healthy, vibrant state. You want to make certain your mind is in a high vibrational state. You want to make certain that your energy is at a high frequency. So that's what you'll tune into. So yes, there are low vibrational dark entities that people can connect to. There's also high vibrational, very enlightened master energies that you can connect to. And what would you choose? So be very mindful. We in our masterclass, we teach people how to alter the vibration and frequency of their bodies, their emotions, and their mind. And when you learn how to do that, you can connect to beings and learn things that you never thought you could learn. You can get downloaded information that just blows your mind. It's just so exciting. We're not here to suffer. We're here to create. It's not natural for us to suffer. Contrary to what the world has been telling you. You are here to create, not to suffer. Thank you for all you do. Messages from dad or father-in-law. He's something about the box. He's saying something. I don't know who this is, but they're saying something about the box. Look in the box again. I'm being told that's look in the box again. For that, I don't know what that is or what the box is for. But again, I want to say it's like a star-shaped. I'm seeing a star-shaped object, but it's like very insistent. Look in the box again. Again, I don't know what that is, or if it's for you or for somebody you know that knows them. But they're saying, look in the box again. Look in the box again. Wow, I don't know what the box is. Hi guys. Yes. Anytime you catch yourself thinking of a loved one that's left the other side, their energy just interacted with you. That's why the thought comes in. It's like, watch this. If I say to every one of you right now the word cat, your brain suddenly reacts and presents to you the image of a cat. So you're hanging around your house or you're doing a chore and suddenly you think you have a thought of your sister or your grandmother, your brother. That thought didn't happen without something causing it. And it's usually their energy trying to interact with you. So in the moments when you find yourself connecting to their energy, pause, be present with them. Because the moment you turn instead of thinking, oh, they're dead, they're getting you to think that of them so you can connect to them. That's why it's happening. It's not happening randomly. So whenever you think of the people that you love that are not in their physical bodies anymore, whenever they come to mind, it's because they've stimulated your consciousness to be aware of their presence. And pause. Be present with them. Delight in that moment of connection. They don't have a physical body to interact with you, but they have their energy, and their energy can stimulate thought functions in the brain. So you suddenly get a thought of them. It's because their energy interacted with that frequency, just like the word cat interacts with the image and idea and the frequency of cat in your brain. You see your black cat or your tabby cat or your marmalade cat or whatever cat you see in your brain. So when loved ones suddenly pop in your mind, it's because their energy is connecting with you for whatever reason. And you can learn to become sensitive to that and realize that death is not a healthy word. They're simply on a different frequency of energy, period. It's the simplest way we can make it. Thank you so much for sharing that. Um, what does my son Mitchell want to say to me from Emmett? He's saying, "Hi, Mom, it's a blast up here. I'm having a blast up here. It is amazing. It is amazing what I'm learning here." Yeah, he's not what you call what's heaven for him. There's this incredible scientific energy around him. Like there's all these, like I see all these calculations and equations and machines and devices, and like he's really like he's just having a blast with all of this stuff. So he's in this realm where he's learning all this scientific stuff that he's been wanting to understand, and he's learning to understand it. So he just wanted to communicate that he's really excited and happy about being able to being where he is and learning, and grateful that you connected to him. Understand, when you connect to them energetic, just thinking about him, you form a connection in energy. And if you can train your awareness to become sensitive to that moment you're finding yourself connecting them, your world is going to change. You will not be living in sorrows. You know, you don't cry when your husband goes off to work or your children go off to school. You know they've gone off to learn something. Well, when somebody leaves the physical body, they're doing the same thing. They're going off to learn something somewhere. And we should be rejoicing for them, right? And learning to live our fullest life here. They don't want you to be unhappy. They just want to continue their journey, and that you should continue your journey with love and faith and joy. I think we're good for today, are we? Okay. Again, for those of you that have joined me today, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate your support. And again, if you want to help the channel out, you can go to my Patreon page, patreon.com/William Michael Forbes. And for those of you on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube who've listened to this, I want to thank Archangel Michael for being present with us today, and the energy of those that were called forth by those that called them forth. And I want to thank my guardian angel, John. And I want to thank all of you for being present during this day. I'll look forward to seeing you guys on Monday, on the Monday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. Yes, we'll have the Galactic Federation with us on Monday, and it's going to be on raising collective frequency. And again, if you've heard what has been said today, use the function of your breath to train your body and mind to be still and quiet. And once you gain the awareness that you can direct your mind and body as a function of your will, your suffering will end very quickly, because then you can start changing your mind. I want to say much love to all of you. I will see you guys on Monday. Bye, everybody. Take care. Oh, if you got questions, by the way, you can leave them in under the video, or you can go to my pinned video on my TikTok channel. Leave a question there. I'll do my best to answer the questions and bring the information from your guides, your angels, the others that work with you and through me. Much love, everybody. Have yourselves a great day.